This episode is sponsored by ODP Business Solutions, built to address all your facility needs. Visit odpbusiness.com today. We all know testimonials are powerful, but are we really using them to their full potential? You no doubt look at a testimonial to make decisions yourself when you buy something. All too often, though, companies treat testimonials like afterthoughts, buried on a web page or gathered haphazardly after a job is done. Well, today we're going to change the script. And to do all this, we have our resident expert. Troy, you're a resident expert for Straight Talk. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm privileged.
Check is in the mail.
I appreciate that.
But welcome back, and I look forward to this conversation. We use testimonials, reviews to make a lot of decisions, but I think you're seeing something out there that maybe we're not doing the best we can as business owners. Talk about that.
Well, business owners have never been great about getting testimonials, and neither have sales teams. I've been in sales for longer than I care to remember, and testimonials are the most valuable piece of marketing collateral you have. And the reason is they allow a prospective new customer to see you through the eyes of a current happy customer. And there's nothing you can do more valuable than that. Whatever you spend on branding, whatever you spend on your website, none of it is as good as a handful of really well done testimonials. But most of the time, companies don't know how to use them. Most sales teams don't have a process for capturing them. And here's the crazy thing. Testimonials are easier to get now and capture than they've ever been. Look, I'm going to flash back to when I was a field salesperson in the 1990s. Back then, if I wanted a testimonial, I had to ask somebody to write something on their own letterhead and sign it. I said, could you write me a testimonial letter? Write it on your own letterhead and sign it. And about a third of the time they do it. And that was usually you get one out of three to one out of every four that you'd ask for. And then you would put them in page protectors in a 3-ring binder. You copy them, you carry them around in a brag book, which, kind of big, heavy, and bulky, but that's okay. I mean, we still had them. But even back then, we didn't get very many of them because it was kind of hard to ask for. You had to ask your client to take time during their regular workday when they were probably trying to do something else. And that's why we didn't get a whole lot of them. Well, then the solution was, tell you what, I'll write it up and you put it on your letterhead and sign it, which was bad for two reasons. Number one, all your testimonials ended up sounding exactly the same because the same person was writing it. And then as your customers were paging through, they realized, oh no, that's not a real testimonial. Second, and here's what it took me a long time to discover, your clients will say nicer things about you than you'll ever say about yourself. Testimonials are awesome for that reason, but for decades, that's how we had to do them. If we wanted a testimonial, we'd ask for a letter. Sometimes we'd get it. We'd frame it up in the office. We'd carry copies of it in our brag book, and that's how we would get them and disseminate them. It wasn't a big part of the strategy because, quite frankly, it was a pain in the ass to do for us and for the customers. But then along came smartphones and LinkedIn, and all of a sudden, technology is making it so much easier to ask for testimonials. My favorite testimonial right now is the video testimonial. And video testimonials, these smartphones have great cameras in them. And honestly, the best way to get a video testimonial is when you are talking to your customer and they say something nice. Thank you for helping me with that. You've been a great help. Thank you for guiding that. It's pretty simple. You say, hey, I really appreciate that you've said that. One way that I grow my business is through testimonials from happy customers like yourselves who have had great experiences with me. Would you be okay if we kind of did that conversation again? Maybe I'll ask you a few questions. Would you mind repeating that for the record on video? Most of the time, if you've really done a great job for your client, they're going to be happy to do that because they want to help you. They want you to prosper just the same way you want yourself to prosper. And so that's a great way to get testimonials is the video testimonial. You can also do a planned video testimonial where you say to your client, if you're pretty sure they're going to give you one, hey, I'd like to come over and do a quick little interview with you on video to see if you have some great things to say that would be helpful to my clients. Again, great ways to get a video testimonial. And once you got a video testimonial, you can put them everywhere. You can put them on YouTube, you can put them on LinkedIn, you can put Instagram, wherever you disseminate your contact on your web page. You can splice them and put them into other videos. You can transcribe them. They're wonderful.
As the modern workplace evolves, organizations must evolve as well. They need a partner that understands this new world of work. We are that partner. We are ODP Business Solutions, formerly Office Depot Business Solutions Division. More than just office supplies, ODP is a force for change, helping address technology transformation, sustainability, innovative workspace design, cleaning, break room, and more, making organizations everywhere say, oh, when they see how much more we can do. ODP Business Solutions.
And for me nowadays, the primary medium that I use to get testimonials is through video. You can also get video testimonials, great ones, by recording Zoom calls just like this one. Even if you're not in front of your client, it doesn't mean that you can't get a testimonials. Just set the video recording software to Zoom, whether you use to Zoom. Set your video technology to record, whether you're using Zoom or Teams or Google Meet, whatever. They all have a recording setting. Now you're recording the whole call. And at the end of it, you can ask for the testimonial. And if they give it, say, hey, I just recorded it. Are you okay if I edit it and use that? Almost always they're going to say yes. But suppose you don't want to get a video testimonial or the opportunity doesn't present itself. LinkedIn has a great mechanism called LinkedIn recommendations. I'm not talking about LinkedIn endorsements. I'm talking about LinkedIn recommendations. And those are also pretty easy to get. Usually what I do is let the client know that it's coming. I'll tell them, hey, I'm going to request a recommendation from you on LinkedIn. And if you feel comfortable that what I did has been of benefit to you, would you mind going ahead and providing me one? And then when I send a recommendation request, the default is, can you write a recommendation of my work? Yeah, that's great. But I like to guide the process with a few questions. I'll say, well, what can you say about the process of working with me? What do you think the takeaway was of that? And on LinkedIn, I find that I get, and most people get, about 50 to 75% of the recommendations that they ask for. But again, don't write it for them. It's okay to prompt them with a few questions to guide it where you want to go, but let their words be the words that guide it. And again, once you have those LinkedIn recommendations, you share them out on LinkedIn. You can transcribe those, put them on your website. A recommendation doesn't have to just live in the format that it was created in. You can do whatever you want with it. The only thing, and I've been asked about this, and it's kind of a cool question and a cool thought. Uh, there are AI platforms out there now where you can upload somebody's headshot and upload a transcription, and you can actually record them saying it. For me right now, that's a bridge too far. Check back with me in a year. I may change that. I mean, it still is their face and it still is the words that they're saying, but for me, that's just that notch too far. But all of this is to say that there are a myriad of ways to grab testimonials that we didn't have years ago. And testimonials are incredibly valuable. And if you're a sales manager, you should have your salespeople on a regular program of gathering testimonials. I'd like to see you have your salespeople gather them once a month. And not as an, don't make it an event. Just say, this is one of your accountabilities. One time this month, when you're dealing with one of your customers, get me a good testimonial in whatever format. I think that salespeople can really benefit from that. And again, it allows prospective future customers to see you through the eyes of happy current customers. It's great. And once you have them, like the video testimonials, I carry them in a directory on my phone. So I could just play them back right on the spot in a sales call. LinkedIn recommendations, of course, they live on LinkedIn, and you can very easily point people to those. The other thing it does is it takes out the can you give me a customer reference request? Active customer testimonials, and I went through a period about 2 or 3 years ago where I was getting a lot of these. And a lot of times it's a stall technique. But what I would say is I have enough clients coming to me that I don't want to bomb my current customers with requests. And I'll say, they have said for the record how it is to work with me. And I point them, here are the video testimonials. Here are the LinkedIn recommendations. And that really cut down. I still got the business, but it really cut down the number of people asking to contact my current customers. So it worked out really well. Like I said, my suggestion, just make it part of the routine. Don't make it an event. A lot of companies want to make this big flashy event. And yeah, once a quarter or once a year, we're going to have a drive for testimonials. No, just make it a normal part of how you do business.
Well, you covered all my questions except maybe one or two. So,
Okay.
um, no, what you said there, great information, Troy. And you're right. Your customers do want to help you. We want to help people succeed. So getting those testimonials should be a fairly easy ask, but you don't want them to work. You want to make it easy for them to do that. So your tips are great.
Exactly.
Tips are great. When you think about going beyond just give me a testimonial, you mentioned questions we could ask. You like to have some questions to lead them. Are you talking about like stock questions? You'd have three you'd always use, or would you tailor those specifically for a client type?
It depends. A lot of times I will tailor them. If I know Uh, for instance, if I know the target demographic that I want to show this to, I might direct those questions a little bit for that reason. But usually the starting point is, can you tell me what the result was of working with me? Can you describe the experience of working with me? And what would you say to anyone thinking about working with me? And these are general purpose questions that could be tweaked and adapted for any environment. Now, I also have more specific questions. For instance, I got a client I'm getting a recommendation from next year. I've worked with this guy for 20 years at three different companies. You can believe there's going to be some pretty tailored questions involved in that one.
Hmm.
But it just depends. Go with your gut. And a lot of times a testimonial can be triggered by something they said, not by something you said. If your customer says something that you want other customers to hear, that's a time to just grab the phone and let them know what you want to do and ask for their permission. Most of the time, they're going to say yes.
To wrap up, what about the legal aspects of using these? Do you recommend a written permission form, or the fact that they're talking about your company on video is enough?
The testimonial is the permission.
Hmm.
Yeah. You know, you should ask their permission before you do it. And once you do that, and if you're really fussy, you can record, I'm doing this with their permission. I would not put, and if I did that, I would save that in a master file. I wouldn't, you know, put that out in the edited file on LinkedIn or on YouTube or anything. I've never had an issue, and I've never had a client that had an issue with it. But yeah, I mean, when somebody, like, especially when somebody gives you a recommendation, they're very well aware that they're sending that out to the world. As long as you ask and tell them what you're going to do, they're very well that aware that they're sending that out to the world. So I I've never seen a problem. There always could be.
I suppose there could be, but good points. If you're speaking to the camera about a company and it's pretty obvious what you're doing, but there's always that legal aspect maybe to
Oh
consider.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Troy, great information. Some companies don't have many testimonials. Maybe a new company is trying to get a few. What
Mhm.
you shared today will get them started. But is there a sweet spot of testimonials we should have on our website? Maybe a scrolling carousel of them, or
On a carousel, I would probably try for five or six
okay.
really good ones at least. And here's the thing, more is better, because every company's situation isn't going to speak to every other company. So more is always better, and just pick at least five or six that are the best and most appropriate.
All right. So for those watching, get your testimonials. And what do we do with them, Troy? What do we do with them?
Put them everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. Troy, I'll see you at ISSA show.
Yeah, you will. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a great program on prospecting and already getting excited for that one.
All right. We'll see you there. Thank you.
Sounds good, Jeff. Thank you.